Johnny, can you explain the development of the flex defense and what went into implementing
Depending on the offense we're facing, we saw a lot of 10 personnel, and obviously they're running where they're pulling the guard and tackle, and we wanted to add a number to it. And plus, their screen game was one of the big parts, so we kind of put it in that week and worked out for us.
And then, what did you think of how Jeremy Mercer was able to kind of be a spy?
It was good. He came in and that was his role that week and did a nice job. It was awesome to see him play too.
Michael?
Johnny, Oregon State is a different style of offense than certainly the last three opponents that you faced. I think Jed said a little, like UTEP a little bit style-wise. What are the challenges that they present?
Well, obviously it's a really good offense, pro-style offense. Smitty has done a great job and his staff been together for a long time, so they have a system. Obviously for us, it's a different offense to prepare for. So it was nice to have a bye week to really kind of focus in on what we need to do as far as defense and what we're going to face, because it's totally different from what we were accustomed to in the last 3 weeks.
DJ Youngboy really struggled toward the end of his time in Clemson, and he's resurrected his career under Jonathan Smith here at Oregon State. What have you seen?
Really good. I mean, he was a highly recruited kid coming out of high school, so he's very talented. I think he fit their scheme better, and you could tell he's, every week he's getting better. So we got to be prepared, to make sure we're taking care of our coverage and things like that with him, because they're using him in the run game too.
David and Brian.
Two questions for you, Johnny. Just obviously, as somebody that went to Washington State, for your defense to go up there and put on that performance, so what did that mean to you as their coach?
It was just another game for us. I've never made it a big deal that I went to school there. We had a job to do, and obviously our kids. My job is to prepare them. It was nice to see them play well down there, and it's kind of motivating when you're sitting up in the press box before the game and they're telling us UCLA's elite and our defense is okay. I think that kind of motivate our kids and motivate our staff to coach better that day. And sometimes we used that against them, so it was good to see our guys compete and got after them pretty good.
And Sicario's interception, what did you like about the way you read that play there?
Well, our offense, we run that play at practice, and our offense run the same play, and we've been practicing. Obviously there's indicators when that play comes, and the kids, our coaches have done a great job preparing our guys. And that when that play came, the flood, he was right there to step in and picked it off. It was good to see. Finally, we got one.
Brian or Justin?
Brennan, the last game I think was probably the most balanced as far as the approach to the run, with having three guys get 10 or so carries. With the anticipation that Wiley would be back, how do you do a rotation with four guys and still keep it balanced, or was that more an impact at that point?
I think it'll be when Mike's when Mike's healthy, he'll be back in the rotation, and we'll just find a balance. It's not easy to do, but we've got a plan for it, and all the guys got great roles. They've been great in their roles. DJ's been fantastic. Speedy's finally kind of caught fire right there, and then Jonah's been doing what Jonah's been doing. So just add Mike to it. Just one more thing they got to deal with.
Are there do each of the players practice each of the plays so that you can't pick up a tendency by seeing who's in there?
Yes, we everybody kind of knows what everybody's doing. Some guys have kind of one play here, one play there, but for the most part, they all know what they're doing. They can all exchange in and out without a problem, and they've done. It's happened a couple of times this year, so it wouldn't really show on film any different.
Justin and Michael.
For both of you guys, which scout team players have stood out to you the most so far this season?
The first guy that showed, just because it was yesterday, Levi Sula showed up with a chip on his shoulder. It was good to see him flying around out there. Dom Lacios has been fantastic all the way through. There's been a bunch of guys who've on the D line that have done great. So those are my two that just probably stand out for me.
I think everybody on our side of the ball has really improved, and obviously we share that as a staff. Nas has been an unbelievable dude down there running the football for the last 2 years and really give us that look that we need every week. So, but overall, everybody's getting better.
And then for Johnny, how effective do you think Justin Flo can be in this game?
I mean, this is a type of game, as a linebacker, this is what you're looking forward to. It's going to be a run, they run the ball now. That's what you're looking for. you're not going to see the ball spitting out there and trying to chase you down. So, he's got to do a great job to be disciplined this week with his gaps and things like that. And obviously, we got to tackle those two backs. They're very talented in the backfield. So we got to do a good job.
Michael and then David.
Two for Brennan. The first one, obviously, almost everything went well on both sides of the ball at Washington State, but it was a challenging game for Jonah and Jordan Morgan going against those edge rushers of theirs. How did you assess their performance against those guys?
Yeah, when you play against great players, you're not going to win every rep. And those guys did a great job. Those guys have grown those guys up in that program up there. They've done a heck of a job keeping those guys there and training them for, whatever 4 or 5 years they've been there. And those guys have developed from guys that weren't that size when they got there. And it's just a testament to the program, what they're doing up there. So it was a great challenge for us. We knew it was a great challenge. We got some wins, but they absolutely showed that they're going to be guys that are going to play the next level. So it's a great battle for us to just keep us ready for the Pac-12.
And then Noah Fifita has played about 3.25 games or so, all difficult circumstances. When he came in on the road, and you guys were behind in the second half, and then 3 top 25 points in a row, 2 of those on the road. What has stood out to you about his?
Is that all? No, I mean, he is who he thought he was. He's a stud. He knows how to play this sport. He knows how to play the game. He's just a really talented player that puts the work in. So, there's nothing surprising really about how he's performed. And he'll just keep developing and keep getting better and keep getting a better feel for, the way we do things on offense and the way that, we're balanced with our defense. I think that's really going to play to his strengths and hopefully just continue to keep getting better.
David and then Justin.
2 for Brennan. Brennan, just in terms of Noah, where is he? If you give us a couple examples if you can, where he stands out in the classroom when you guys are in that setting and where he just kind of jumps off the page with his knowledge.
Yeah, nothing ever seems new for him. Nothing's ever a surprise. He can always equate, one instance to another or one concept to another. I'm going to read this like we read that. Okay, good, I got it. And just his ability to just quickly, retain information and regurgitate it on command. I stole that line. But he's really Mike James, University of Miami. Appreciate you. He's really able to kind of handle, the depth of this offense, what it requires, and it shows constantly.
In terms of Tanner McLaughlin, just where would you put what he's done in the blocking game in the lexicon, what that's meant to your run game?
Yeah, he's really been able to kind of balance us out, and he is a great receiver. Second, when he gets in the secondary, and even when we're getting the ball in the flat, he's done a great job of protecting the ball and getting upfield and gaining more yards, than just where he's catching it. And us being able to use him in the run game, as you see him on those sift blocks as he's working back and creating space and creating lanes for our guys. All the runners obviously appreciate it.
Do you guys know Jim Mahalchek, the offensive line coach there?
Yes, I used to work with him.
What do you think of just him and
Very, very good. Yeah, very good. He's been around the league for a long time and, very sound, so, he's been with Smitty for a long time. So you could tell, the footwork of their O-line and the way they work in sync, you could tell how well they're coached. He's a very good coach.
Michael and then Brian.
For Johnny, I know you were asked a question about Carroll earlier. He's really elevated his play this season. I don't think he's began the season as a starter, and he seems pretty locked in now. Where is he from?
Overall, I think, Coach Richardson has done a great job teaching the game to him, technique-wise, with Coach Akina. You can see how every week he's getting better, and you could tell he's making plays, and, so it's very good to see. And, obviously he's going to be a challenge this week because they got to tackle those big backs. So, we're looking for him to have another big week for us.
Last question, Brian.
Johnny, you've kind of brought out these different packages, the dollar, the flex, depending on the opponent. Do you like having to come up with something different that keeps the opponents on their toes, or do you think like it's a necessary thing that the base doesn't cover everything?
No, yeah, it's part of our system. We always have it. But when we play certain teams, that's when we bring it out. You know, that's the beauty of going against our offense because, you know, some of the things we see, we don't see every week, but we have those, you know, in the spring, we kind of, toy with it. And now we have the opportunity to use it when we face teams like Washington State and USC and so on and so on. So, you know, even this week, you're going to see 22, 20, 3 personnel, 13. I mean, there's a lot of personnel we have to face, but our offense give us some of those looks that's going to help us prepare for this game.
Is this gonna kind of be like the North Dakota State?
Yeah.
Yeah.